Hello and welcome to the Passion Show Mind. My name is Kyle and joining me as always is my co-host Kiayah.
Hello.
So in today's episode we're talking about confidence.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said, I think. It's a really big topic that is involved in like a lot of life. Like you can use it in everywhere.
Many different situations. So it could be love life, careers, friends.
Yeah, like daily tasks even, just like little things.
Yeah, like even like walking down the street or something like that for some people.
Yeah.
What I would say is I am not the expert in confidence.
Me neither. It's quite funny that we are making this because I know we're not the most confident people, but we both were really not confident, and over the year I'd say have become a lot more.
Yeah, I always find that because I grew up acting, and what you find with most actors, and you'd be really surprised, is actors tend to be a lot more anxious than the average person because the whole notion of acting is pretend to be someone that you're not.
Yeah. Carrie Hope Fletcher, do you know who that is? You know Tom Fletcher from McFly?
Yeah.
Well, his sister is a YouTuber and she's also on the West End. She acts as Eponine in Les Mis on the West End, and she's like boss and like renowned for it and all that, and she loves it, and she's obviously dead confident when she does it. And then she got asked to present an award and she was like, shitting myself, I don't want to go on stage as me. Then she said that, and everyone who on the comments was like, I'm so glad that people understand this is what it's like for actors and that. So yeah, it does, like, people can seem confident, I think, without, but fake it till you make it
it works.
Is advice I would give, because I have done that in the past, and it does work.
It definitely does. Just pretend that you're confident and that you can do it, and you'll just do it. It's like going to sleep. If you pretend to fall asleep for the tooth fairy, you'll fall asleep.
Definitely. So I wanted to start with like what confidence is as such. So like the definition of it is supposed to be the degree to which you think and feel your actions will achieve positive results.
Okay.
So like basically in psychology, self-confidence, self-esteem and self-efficacy are all, they get like mixed up a lot, and like people don't know what they actually mean and stuff. Basically they're all intertwined, but self-confidence is exactly that. It's how you feel that your actual actions are going to achieve what you want them to.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Is why it can be used in like life. So I was thinking of a really trivial example. When I cook and you've got like, you know, like a jar of like curry or whatever, I'll be trying to open it. I'll be like squeezing as hard as I can, and I'm thinking I can't do it. And sometimes I'll go to my boyfriend Leon and go like, will you open it? And he'll go like, no, go on, you can do it. And once I go like, yeah, I can. And once I think I can do it, I'll squeeze harder, and eventually I'll do it. Fake it till you make it works.
It definitely does. It definitely does. Like if you're doing like a presentation or anything like that.
Oh yeah.
People always think like, oh, I'm dreading it. I'm gonna do terrible. But everybody thinks that, because nervousness and angst, like loads of people experience it, and you just gotta like understand that you're not abnormal for feeling that way.
And that it's okay to feel them as well. So like, because confident, I read an article before doing this just to like try and do my research a little bit, and it was in the like Psychology Today stuff, and this woman was talking about how people think that confidence is lack of anxiety and like not having any of them, but actually what it should be is, you still get nervous and stuff, you still deal with those things
despite your anxiety.
But it's feel the fear and do it anyway kind of thing. Like, and that's my favourite. It's written on my wall.
That's where like thrills come from, like roller coasters and things like that, because you're terrified on a roller coaster, but you're having an amazing time. You wouldn't go on a roller coaster otherwise, would you?
Exactly. Yeah. Like people always say like, oh, it'd be weird if you weren't nervous. Like I've watched loads of Olympic gymnasts. I'm really interested in them. And there's a video of Ali Raisman before she like goes on in the Olympics, which is obviously like the biggest day of her life, and she's saying to her mum like, I'm so nervous, and her mum's like, well, yeah, I'd be worried if you weren't. Like, you should be. It's happening. Like, this is a big deal, and we do need those like nerves and stuff to help prepare our body. Like, it gives you like adrenaline and stuff to do better and
make
that kind of thing.
Make sure aware of potential like issues could be around you. Like, yeah.
But it's just that you can learn to. Some of us have higher anxiety than we'd probably like, and you can learn to deal with that so that you can still be confident.
So like to use at your disposal.
Yeah. Like, I'd class myself as someone who is quite anxious, but also quite confident nowadays. Like, in a few ways, there are times when I'm quite a confident person despite the anxiety, and it can be done.
I'm like that too. Like, I've got ways in which I'm confident because I present the podcast, but then I'm also incredibly awkward, if you know me in person, and anxious, and
I actually remember, I don't know whether you know this or not, we went to the Oscars last year. Yeah. We didn't actually go to the Oscars. We just went to watch the Oscars. Yeah. We went to watch the Oscars at uni. And it was like us and our friends, and then Kyle had like his work friends going, and I was sat there and I was quite anxious because there were like quite a few new people that I didn't know and I was just kind of, and it was the Oscars, didn't really know what they were talking about and that kind of thing. I'm not a film buff. So I was just like, just like carrying on, being myself, whatever. And I looked up and you're there like going around to everyone, looking all confident, speaking to everyone. And I was like, wow, look at Kyle, like probably going for it. And I was well impressed. So another thing is that sometimes you think you're not confident, but if you got someone else's perspective, they might actually say you are.
I feel like hearing things like that definitely helps as well. So yeah, thanks for that.
I've always thought that compliment culture in today's society is almost non-existent. People find compliments really awkward. Some people don't like taking them, some people don't like saying them. I am someone who, if I've got something good to say about you, I will generally say it because
that's how
we talked about last time in the body image episode about how like it can be really damaging what you say to people, and that can have like a really lasting effect, but
you can do the opposite.
It's the same for positivity. Like
ways.
When you say positive things, it can really, really affect people and like stay with them, so you should.
And it goes back to what we were saying in that episode as well about treating people nicely, because like, okay, you can say it's like a philosophical thing and maybe not true about karma, but you giving out positivity creates positivity for another person, and if everyone did that, then everyone would be confident more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we want to try and talk about ways that you can increase your own confidence.
Yeah.
So one of them, definitely fake it till you make it, as we said. Like, no matter how unrealistic it seems that you can fake whatever you're faking, just go for it, just try it, and because it genuinely works so often.
I feel like going out your comfort zone one step at a time as well.
Oh, I've got a good story about that.
Okay, go on.
So I got a place on this thing in summer, which is me being able to go to Spain for 2 weeks and teach dance and English
wow.
to little kids, which is like, if you know me, perfect for me, like literally perfect, and like I'm so excited about it and all that, but I wasn't confident enough, and I got through that. I did like 2 interviews, I had to like do loads of work for the interviews to pride myself and all that, and about 3 days ago I woke up and I was like, I can't do it, I can't go, like I'll be homesick and like miss Leon and all that, like I don't feel confident enough to, like go and fly on my own and that kind of thing. And I sat with myself and I was like, come on, like you can't let such a good opportunity go to waste and that.
Definitely.
And this is a perfect example of fake it till you make it, because I thought, if I book these flights, the flights cost me 200 quid.
You can't go back.
I'm not going back on it, like I've spent 200 quid, I'm getting on the flight. So I forced myself, I pressed the button and booked the flights and spent the 200 quid because now I've got to go, and I'm sure I will come back, 1, having loved it, and 2, a much more confident person because I've gone, oh yeah, I can do that. Like,
that's like an incredibly extreme version
of
risky text.
Yeah. Oh
like,
yeah.
Risky texts. I've been in that situation so many times in my life where I've like had my finger over the send button and I've just waited till I've run out of energy so my finger just falls onto the phone.
Oh god, risky texts are horrible.
They're horrible, I hate them.
Oh, and when you're waiting for people to reply and you can see the little
oh my
bubbles.
god, you see the 3 dots. Oh no.
But anyway, what we're saying is, push yourself out of your comfort zone if you can. Maybe not, you don't need to fly to another country and do that, but like little steps that keep you... Living here was a big one for me.
Yeah,
like
100%.
I'm a socially anxious person and I've just lived with 8 people for a year, like, and that was scary. Like moving in, I was genuinely very anxious because I was like, I've got to socialise
going
constantly.
to university itself. Yeah.
Moving away from home to do that and stuff like that, like, or even if you live at home, actually you're just going into the lectures every day and stuff. It's all different for everyone, which is obviously something to keep remembering with every topic we talk about. Really, psychology is completely individual and we've all got our own minds.
And in terms of like, if you want to pursue going to university or presentations or anything like that, thousands of people have done it before you and succeeded. Thousands of people will do it after you. You don't need to stress because it works. You'll be fine. You'll be okay.
I think don't be scared to ask for help as well.
Yeah.
Like, I did a presentation this year, and as soon as I found out, it was a group presentation, and as soon as I found that out, I went to my friend Grace, who is really, really confident and really like outspoken and like, kind of professional, and was like, can I work with you? Because I know that presentations aren't one of my best, what's it called? Attributes, for example. And I know that it was for her, and I went to her and she like sat with me and like coached me through it and was like, you don't need the card, like we didn't have cards to read off or anything. She was like, come on, just do it. And we practice and practice, and you've got to be, I think if you can accept that it's okay to not be good at everything and then actually get the help when you need it, you'll be more confident because you've had someone there who you are confident is good at it and they've helped you. So in your own head, whether it's subconscious or not, you'll be thinking, okay, well, I've got help from someone who's really good at it, so like I must be a bit better at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
We've all got our own flaws and we've all got our own strengths, and instead of being in competition, we should really try to learn from each other, because then we all become more confident.
Yeah, definitely.
Basically. But it's just, like not being, because people get a bit sort of, I don't really want to use the word, but maybe like egotistical and don't want to ask for help. One, because they don't want to burden people.
It's pride, isn't it?
Yeah, and two, because you don't want to hurt your own pride. But actually, you'll be more proud of yourself once you've asked for the help and then done really well at whatever it was you were trying to do. So, just, I'd say another thing is definitely don't be scared to ask for help and like reach out.
So I think another thing that you can do to improve your confidence is dressing well. Like, buy a new outfit. Like, a new outfit can put your confidence through the roof. The best item of clothing I've ever bought was when I was 18 and I was shopping with my birthday money, and I was like, I'm getting a denim jacket. I looked in so many shops and I finally found the one that I wanted. And this denim jacket has been with me through like everything. Like, it's my lucky denim jacket. Like, everybody's seen me wearing this jacket, and like, this is not the last time I'll talk about that jacket on this podcast. But yeah, I just placebo myself into thinking like I'm boss when I'm wearing that jacket.
It sounds like we should laugh, but it's true though, it works, doesn't it? Like, I guess it's another version of fake it till you make it. Like, even so, I don't buy new clothes very often. Like, it's not something I spend my money on. But even so today, I woke up feeling not very confident, and I felt a bit like sort of low and insecure. And I was like, oh, I can't be else going through another day of this. Like, I don't want to spend this whole day like this. Which is not very like me, I spent about half an hour putting different clothes on together that I wouldn't usually wear together. and I must have put genuinely about 15 outfits on this morning until I came to this and was like, and this is nothing like special, but it was just until I felt good about myself. I wasn't going to stop because it affects you. And I've had a boss day and I tackled some really hard shit in work that was like difficult, and I was like, no, bring it, it's fine, because I've got my outfit on and I feel boss. It works, doesn't it? Like,
yeah, it definitely does.
Either buying new ones or like mixing stuff up that you wouldn't usually do and stuff, it can really have a good effect. On a sort of similar line to that, imagery can be a big thing in it. So in terms of improving your own confidence, imagining whatever it is that you're trying to achieve can really, really help. Imagining yourself doing it. So I'm going to bring up the gymnasts again. I've watched loads and loads of videos of them, everything, and I've seen them like training, and they get told by their coaches, who are the best coaches in the world, because these gymnasts have won like everything. Simone Biles is queen. They get told by their coaches to imagine themselves running towards the vault and then flipping over it. Like, close your eyes and literally imagine whatever you're about to do and picture yourself doing it and being successful at it. And it's been proven in by studies of people who have been told to imagine it and people who haven't. The ones who imagine it do like significantly better than.
I've never heard of that method.
It's crazy. Like, it sounds
like it'd work though.
It works, but it sounds a bit sort of like fluffy and
you
know, I sound like a shrink a bit, but it's called mind. Like, that's what we're here for. I'm only saying it because I want to help people, and I've done it myself, and it really, for me, definitely, it genuinely helps. Like, it can just, because then you're tricking yourself into believing that you can, because if you can imagine yourself doing it, then your brain goes
you say you can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
It's like, well, maybe I can produce it then.
Yeah, that's really true. I might try that in future. So what holds people back a lot is the idea that they have to be perfect in everything that they do, and nobody is perfect.
Yeah, I think like perfectionism can be one of the main downfalls of people not being confident, because if you think that I'm the worst for it, I'm such a perfectionist, and like if you think you need to be perfect at everything, you're going to end up being really self-critical, because you can't be. We are not perfect at everything. We're not supposed to be. Life would be really boring if everything was like ridiculously easy.
Yeah, exactly.
So trying to accept, so like in school, for example, I was quite good at a lot of things. I was in top set for like everything and all that. I'm not bragging, I promise. But I was really, really, really bad at art. I cannot draw to save my life. Like, I just can't. I can see the image in my head, but making my hand draw it, I just can't do it. But I just very quickly went like, yeah, I'm not good at art. But it's okay, because look at all the things I can do. Like, that's a very simple example of it. But like, as you were saying, if you're going out for a meal, because social anxiety is one of the biggest and most common ones, I think, and you think, I need to say everything perfectly, I need to be dressed perfectly, my makeup needs to be perfect, my hair needs to be perfect.
And then you turn up and you're accidentally spitting and you're dropping food on yourself.
Dropping some sauce on your clothes. You've got to let yourself off a little bit. Because then, so if you don't and you think, I've got to be perfect at everything, you're going to be sat at that meal and you're going to get anxious about how you're not being perfect, and you're going to be being hard to yourself in your own head and thinking like, God, as if I've just dropped that sauce on myself.
And everybody else probably done exactly the same.
They're not thinking about you.
Yeah, exactly. They're thinking about
they
themselves.
They are not asked. They're just like, yeah, I'm just here. Even whoops, I've spilt my own drink on the table or something. Like, everyone's...
Oh my God, how embarrassing am I?
Exactly. So try and accept that we're not all supposed to be perfect, and then you can allow yourself to have increased confidence in the things you are good at. And it helps to sort of not be bragging as well, because it's okay to brag about some things if you're so okay with the fact that you're not good at others, in my opinion. Like, you're still being humble because you know that you're not good at everything, but it allows room for you to go like, oh, I am good at this though, look.
And I think, like, in terms of like perfectionism, like applying that to the podcast, there'd be about like 3 episodes up if this was perfect. Like, I've published episodes where my phone's going off the entire time if you watch the Pokemon episode, or episodes where it only comes out of one headphone ear, episodes where it's buzzing all the way through, episodes where I talk over people.
I was going to say that one, like, if we had to cut every time we talked over each other, there would be no episodes.
Exactly.
Like, it just wouldn't happen. But we accept that it's not supposed to be perfect, and actually I think it helps, because I want it to be conversational, I want it to be normal. That's
what it should be. Like, we wouldn't have like 30 episodes now if it had to be perfect. Like, you just have to embrace that you're never gonna be perfect, and that might be beneficial to you.
And that has actually been beneficial, because I sat at a presentation about a week ago and watched Kyle and Phil talk about the presentation of the podcast, and they couldn't have been more confident if they tried, in the best way. They were just relaxed, chill, but confident in because you know what you're doing is good. You know it because it is, and you don't care that your phone's gone off on one of them, because you've still done it, you've still achieved it, and people are loving it. So
so I think definitely just self-belief is the most important part of confidence. Like, just believing in yourself. It's a very easy thing to do. Okay, it's easy said than done, but you know yourself more than anyone.
Another really actionable but shrinky way of increasing your self-belief and self-confidence. There are two things that I've done personally, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, and that's why I'm going to say them on these, because if you feel like it's going to be embarrassing to do these things, at least I'm telling you all, I've done it. So, 2 things. 1, like writing things and sticking them where you can see them. So I sleep where there's like a wall basically right in front of my head. It's really weird, our room. But anyway, I've stuck on that wall about 8 post-it notes that say things like, you are good enough, and I don't know, you'll be your own best friend. Crazy, like, corny shit like that, right? And so when I wake up, that is the first thing I see every day, and that is because I was depressed and I needed to hear those things more often than my own brain was like able to tell me them. So take the opportunity of when you are feeling good, write those things down, put them somewhere. They don't have to be up on your wall if people are coming into your room all the time and you don't want people to see, but write them in a journal where you know where they are, so that when you're feeling really low, you can go and turn back to them. And then a more extreme version of that, which I did one time, again, only because I was feeling so low, and I will always really try hard to not feel low. So I'm always like really, really trying to think of ways that I can make myself feel better. I once set an alarm on my phone. I think there were 3 every day that said different things like that. Like one of them said, "Don't let the little things get you down," and that went off every day. And like, so I don't have to tell myself that anymore because my phone's going to do it for me. Oh my god! But it worked because I saw it every single day, and it will. Because it sounds, people saying like, "Oh, just believe in yourself." It does sound hard, and I've spent so many years thinking like, "Well, I'm trying, obviously," like, but it was not working. But these are like do these things, and they do help. Like, well, it helped me anyway.
I definitely agree with that. Like that sounds like a brilliant thing to do in terms of just self-improvements. Just like, I know loads of people like have like quotes, posters on their walls that have like quotes and stuff like that, and like it just creates a positive atmosphere, doesn't it? Like and positive mind.
Exactly, like that's the be all and end all, isn't it? Is that if you want a positive mind, try and surround yourself with positivity.
Think positively. Yeah,
and if you, because I feel at battle with my thoughts, like I genuinely, I feel like there's two, there's a positive and a negative in my brain, and they are at war all the time, and they're like the positive one's trying to win, but there's more negative and all that. So take the opportunity when you can, if you are in a positive mood.
Just grab the control. Exactly,
take control. You've put it perfectly. That's exactly what I mean. It might sound corny, but if you want to stop yourself from improving just because something sounds corny, listen to us. Like, please try.
Essentially, to be more confident, you need to first fake it till you make it. Like, just think, I can do it. Look at like what you're wearing, maybe buy a new outfit, and confidence usually comes through just looking different sometimes. Also, accept that you're not perfect, and nobody is perfect. And nobody around you is perfect. You don't have to be perfect, and being perfect is detrimental. And finally, think positively, and through actions of like setting alarms with positive quotes, having positive quotes all over your walls, and just stuff like that. Just change your brain to think nicer things about you and the things you're going to do.
You will see it come out in your life. And I think we really both have.
Yeah.
I've noticed it in you, and I've noticed it in myself, definitely. So well done to us.
I think that's a nice place to wrap it up. So thanks for being my co-host, Kyle.
You're welcome, I love it.
So if you have anything that you want us to talk about on the podcast, then just comment down below and we'll discuss it.
And as always, if you need any help and you need someone to talk to, I'm literally always here. I really want to listen, so message me if you need me.
Other than that, have a great day.
Bye.